Okay, I wanted to highlight JToalan's response to me. I tell him above here, because he talks about a lot of nonsense in his latest video, Mysterious Earth. Okay, and I comment, Bob Lazar 2.0, 9 spaceship flying saucers captured by government. So after these alleged flying saucers having technology so advanced, they traversed trillions of miles. And, I'm just going to show this. Come on. And you can freeze that and read what I wrote. And then his response is, he's saying that he likes Bob Lazar, and Bob Lazar is telling the truth. Anti-gravity is real, and so is nuclear propulsion. Absolutely. What Bob Lazar says is called a cover story. I was glad to see Bob admit that in his recent interview with the scumbag Joe Rogan. If one starts to spread the data, it will automatically be discredited and ridiculed and not taken seriously, so they know what they're doing. Yes, they do, because everyone believes the ground they're standing on is up whizzing around in the sky they look up at. Anyway, they have been pushing the bounds of science, really scientism in secret, nuclear propulsion, anti-gravity, etc. He loves the curvature of space-time too, this guy. I enjoy 90% of his work, but lately he's been going off the chain with the curvature of space-time, anti-gravity. Gravity is fake, therefore anti-gravity is too. I know people that have worked with Bob. The guy is 100% legit. So you're saying that alien visitors are visiting the Earth from the lights in the sky that God made for times, years, seasons, and signs? You said you're a Christian in your video, sir. And many others have accepted jobs in harsh conditions at remote locations just because of him, and credit him with having influenced our careers. Nothing but respect for Bob L. And to show you this is, I don't want to call him a name because I do respect 90% of his work, but I've been telling people to watch out. He's going to flip and start saying, well, the curvature of space-time times mathematical equation, it turns out the Earth is a ball. Watch out. JToalan Media, that's his channel. Okay, now I want to direct your attention to what he's saying now. To all the flat earthers who watch this guy. Okay, here, look at this. The world is mysterious, i.e. coded for sooner or later. Mysterious will translate into the Earth turns out to look flat, but is a globe. And you can freeze that and read what I wrote. And here's his response. My dear friends. Come on. Oh, no. Anyway, I'm advocating for a flat Earth. Did you not watch the video in entirety? Yes, I did, sir. Do you get the implications of the Foucault pendulum rotating in the same direction? And now I got to get the rest of this up. Hold on. Because he's saying the Earth's rotating the same in the north, or the same in the south as the north, that it all rotates in one direction, therefore the southern hemisphere cannot be up underneath us. So he wants to use that to say that the southern hemisphere, as portrayed on a ball, being underneath the northern hemisphere, is really level, that the Earth is flat. But he's trying to say the Earth is rotating. Now I'm going to be irritated because this happens sometimes. All right, I'm going to close it again and I'm going to get it back. Son of a gun. Because he's saying the Earth's rotating. Fucking son of... I'm sorry, I shouldn't swear. Okay, come on. Where is it? Okay, come on, come up. Oh, God, I hate when this happens. Because I can't see the whole... Okay. Okay, he's trying to say underneath there's more. And he's saying that we are throwing away proof that the earth is flat because in the southern hemisphere that Foucault's pendulum really rotate in the same direction. Watch his video right there, The Mysterious World. And he's saying that the pendulum rotates in the southern, he goes into all this, he couldn't find images of a pendulum knocking down dominoes, and I knew what was coming, okay? So he's saying that the Foucault's pendulum rotates in the same direction as it does in the northern hemisphere, which in his opinion proves that the southern hemisphere cannot be underneath us, but it is up on the same plane as the northern hemisphere, which is true. It is not underneath us. We do not live on a ball. But what gets me are two things, because he says he's a Christian in this video, Mysterious World, and I pointed out, which I'll show you, 4 or 5 verses in the Bible that says the earth is firm and immovable. And it says that 2 or 3 times in the book of Psalms to make the point. And another thing, anyone can suspend a cable some 200 or 300 feet in the air with a 55-pound spherical ball at the end, and you can assist it all you want, and it will stop. It will not do what they say it's doing in their controlled environment with a magnet over the top, overhead of every Foucault's pendulum. There is a magnet installed. I don't know if he knows this. He probably does. So I watched this guy, JToalan. I like 90% of his work, but when he starts slapping scumbag liars on the back like Bob Lazar, who are Satanists and preaching lies about aliens and anti-gravity and the curvature of space-time, trying to saddle the truth with the liars of scientism, which guys like Kent Hovind do. They try to saddle God's word with the liars of scientism for some degree of esteem they never get. They're being mocked. But for some reason they think they get some degree of esteem by saddling God's word with these liars. Okay? And I'm irritated that I can't get the rest of this. Let me see if I reply. Yeah, this thing, come on. I'm going to pause it a second. I'm going to, you son of a gun. Let me pause it. I want the rest of his comment. Okay, I got it. Now you can freeze that. But anyway, he tells me, I'm advocating for a flat earth. Did you not watch the video in entirety? Yes, I did. Do you get the implications of the Foucault pendulum rotating the same direction in the so-called southern hemisphere as it does in the northern part? We all live on a flat disk. No, we don't. We don't. A flat disk where? Floating in an infinite vacuum? If you ever say that, we don't live on a flat disk. We live on a area of land placed on foundations that doesn't move, surrounded by water. Anyway, a flat disk, more or less. The surface of the earth does not curve back underneath. Yeah, I know that. I.e. they are upside down in the southern hemisphere. Anyway, those that say there is no rotation of the earth are unknowingly throwing away solid proof for a flat earth. We don't need it, buddy. Okay? Because water and mass, i.e. large bodies of water, always seek and maintain their level, proving that the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans are blatantly misdescribed on the globe and everywhere in existence. Pressure cannot be demonstrated without a container. Gas and oxygen cannot be demonstrated to contain themselves. A tank can, or a contained environment are required to transport them around anywhere. And we know gas and oxygen always fill the available volume of the puny vacuum chambers we make at sea level ground, where they say gravity is stronger. So gravity weakens with altitude. They tell us things weigh less on a mountain because gravity weakens with altitude. So 250 miles high at the Kármán line, where gravity is obviously weaker, gas and oxygen would fill the available volume of an infinite vacuum universe billions of light years across, because it does it where gravity's stronger on the Earth with our puny vacuums. So it would do that You people don't understand that when gas and oxygen come into contact with a vacuum, the gas and oxygen fill that vacuum. And if you go Google a picture of the Earth, it'll be an animation or artist rendering, and they show 5 layers of gaseous, what they call atmosphere, curving around the Earth in a fixed and stationary or moving. It's fixed, it's staying right on the outside surface of the Earth, directly next to, surrounded by, and within an infinite vacuum universe, and the both can maintain their sides of an imaginary line with no divider or barrier. And that is fictitious, because we know on the Earth, gas and oxygen always fill the available volume of the puny vacuums we make, where they say gravity is stronger at sea level. So it would do the same thing where gravity is weaker at the Kármán line. And it's not just any puny vacuum, it's an infinite vacuum universe, billions of light years wide, they tell us. Okay, that would result in one violent worldwide hurricane of air snatching you, me, and mostly everything on the Earth up into that infinite vacuum, right through the sky and into an infinite vacuum universe, billions of light years across. We'd be gone. Okay? It's just ridiculous. And JToalan is now advocating that he has evidence. Never mind the infrared, he shows hundreds of miles of a flat Earth. That's no longer good enough. I told people, and I tell them, watch out. This guy is going to use reasons followed by word salad smothered in ignorance that it turns out the world is a globe because of refraction times the curvature of space-time, and mix in a little mathematical equation, and the Earth appears flat, however, it's a globe. And I showed you, please, this guy is in cahoots with Bob Lazar the liar. 9 spaceships traverse the harshest area they tell us that an infinite vacuum is. Gamma ray, X-ray, solar flares, micrometeorites. They get all the way here, trillions of miles, and then crash on the Earth. They couldn't afford any repairs. They couldn't afford to defend their ship, and worst of all, they couldn't defend their very bodies, and were kidnapped by the ant people, apprehended 9 times, Bob Lazar says. And Toalan is sticking up saying, well, that's just a cover story. Yeah, my eyeball. Let me pause this real. So I got like 10 seconds. Read what I wrote, and here's his response. Freeze that and read it. Read that. He's in cahoots with Bob the scumbag Lazar. Aliens are demonic entities, people.